everybody. Welcome to another coffee chat with the Women of Ouija. Hey, it's Marla Martenson and
Karen Dahlman.
mm,
Oh, I'm drinking nice green tea. What are you drinking, Marla?
I'm drinking something called Herbal Zap, which has a bunch of herbs in it, and I drink it
Mm.
hot, and it's just nice. I get all these wonderful things like turmeric and ginger and or turmeric, however you say it, and
Yeah,
all the
turmeric,
good stuff.
turmeric. You
Yeah,
know, I got on this kick of drinking green tea, organic green tea, and I'm drinking like 5 cups a day for like a month and a half now, and I'm just digging it. It's just,
that
I
must be
tried
why
some
you're
flavors.
glowing, girl. You're looking so good.
Oh, oh, thank you. Well, it's the green tea
All right.
and the Ouija.
Well, you guys, today we're going to talk about using the board alone. But first, we just
Hmm.
wanted to say a few things about ourselves in case you don't know who we are. Karen and I, are actually business women. Both own our own business. I'm a matchmaker. I've been a matchmaker for 14 or 15 years, connecting soulmates. To walk down the aisle going off into the sunset. I'm also an author. I have a lot of interests, and I've been on a spiritual journey for a couple of years, which I have written a new book, which will be out in about 4 to 6 weeks, called The Buddha Made Me Do It, A Field Guide to Enlightenment, which is going to be fun. Karen is featured in it. It's a really fun book. So, just we thought, you might think, why are these women wearing these crazy witches hats? Are they witches? Are they in a coven? Are they weirdos or something? No, we're just gals that are living our life, and we just have a passion for spirituality, self-growth, and we do like the talking board, which is, people have called the Ouija board. They tend to call all talking boards and spirit boards and angel boards communication boards. Ouija, just like Kleenex for tissues, and
Right.
because Parker Brothers and movies and stuff kind of got just branded everything like that. But we have a deep affection for it. We use it. We have fun. Karen's been doing it. She'll tell you for over 40 years and written books. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But we're not into anything evil or on the dark side. We are light and fun and spiritual light, and we're just having a blast. And we like to share our insights, knowledge, and experiences with any of you out there who might be interested in the talking boards, talking to the other side, getting some great connections, and we like to give our tips and insights. So, how about you, Karen?
Yeah, we wear the hats too. It's just all for fun. Like you said, we're not part of a coven, and I think Wiccan is really a real cool. I love the pagan religions too. I think they're very awesome, and so it's just more out of just fun and humor, and it just sounded good. The witchy women of Ouija, So it's great. It's great to hear what Marla does. I'm on a whole different spectrum. I'm in a right brain kind of world of excuse me, right brain and left brain. I bring them together because I'm doing my authorship, my books, my writing, my creativity, always creating something. On the other hand, I'm also working in the telecommunication world, and I'm in high tech. And so what my company does is makes your phones work. We help design an application, or I should say, how to turn these cell towers on. We do the power and fiber underground overhead. So I have a team of people that work for me. It's my company. And as Marla said, we are businesswomen. And so although we do that during the day, other times when we have moments and in the evenings, we get to work with our other stuff we enjoy, which is our writing, which is our creative mobility, the creative stuff we create, and then also the Ouija board, which I really enjoy using. And yes, I've been using it for a very long time. I'm going into my 43rd year. Started in 1973. And just have had incredible experiences. So I write about these, and I write about them because I feel like we don't need to reinvent the wheel. I went through all the trials and tribulations and ups and downs of how to use this tool, and I'm hoping we can all just kind of take off where I last ended. Here's my book that I wrote, which has really been, a lot of people write to me and tell me it's the manual to use the board. Go figure. But it truly is. It's my odyssey of 40 years using the tool. And I really, as Marla said, we love to share the experiences because I realized how profound they were, how profound they continue to be. And I'm amazed, always continually be amazed by the different levels of consciousness and sentient beings we can communicate with, including anything from the deceased to animal spirits, to ghosts, to hauntings, to
Angels?
angels, to guardians, to guides, ethereal beings, etc. It just the list goes on and on. And I know you all out there have been writing to me and telling me and sharing your stories as well. So definitely below, let us know a little bit more about you and your experience with the board once you watch this video, because we'd like to hear what your experience has been, because it's not all scary, it's not all doom and gloom. Definitely people have had experiences, but mine, as Marla said too, has been nothing but positive and uplifting and very transformative. So I really use the tools that the Ouija board is a transformative tool. And I'm
Yes.
sticking to my story too.
Yeah, we really have had great experiences with it, and so we like to share the positivity of it, not the fear-based, energy around it. So we want
Yeah.
to talk about using it alone.
Yep.
Some people say don't use it alone. You can never do. You got to have a partner. I think Karen kind of prefers you prefer doing it with the partner.
I do.
I
I
use it
do.
alone most of the time because I don't have anybody to do it with except my friend Linda Salvin, who I'll go down and do it every couple months with at her house. Otherwise, I'm kind of on my own, and I just can't wait. I got to talk to my angel.
Mm-hmm. And Marla does it by herself. And I did it for 39 years with a partner, because guess what? Only reason why is because in the back of the board, back of the box, the board came in from Parker Brothers, said, sit next across the table from a partner, preferably a male, female. And then you can allow the messages to come. And I thought, what? You got to have a partner? So I quickly enrolled my brother, one of my brothers, into doing this with me, and then friends. And we just had such good experiences, and right away the communication. So I've always done it with a partner. After 39 years of doing that, I realized, you know what? I'm going to do it on my own. And so I started branching out into that, and now I can do it on my own too. I still prefer a partner because I think my level of development with a partner has really gone just sky high. It's huge, the kind of profound messages and the level of communications. Where by myself, it's a little less sophisticated. I might get sentences as opposed to getting paragraphs and pages. So I still prefer the partner, but it has nothing to do with that it's evil or bad or you're going to get possessed if you do it by yourself. By no means that's the case. You may hear horror stories about that, but as long as you are sensible about yourself, how you want to use it, why you want to use it, your intentions, and the direction of using this tool, you're going to have good results. I mean, come about it from that level. If you don't come about it from that level, then don't use it with a partner or with others. But if you really respect it and think you're going to have good expectations or good results, then by all means try it by yourself.
Yeah,
I mean,
and trying
Marla,
to by yourself.
tell them your story.
Well, yeah. When I first started this 2.5 years ago, my friend Julie and I were on this spiritual quest, and I've always been into spirituality and gone to a lot of workshops and read books and all of that, but I really accelerated it 2.5 years ago, and Julie and I were going to all these classes, and we live in Los Angeles. We're so lucky that there are so many classes in anything that you might want. Candle magic, pendulums, psychic channelers, you could crystal healing, Reiki, anything, you name it. Bhajans, things from India, Buddhist stuff, everything. And so we started taking all these classes. She's a ghost writer. She's a very successful writer, and I've got my business. So, every week or every other week, we'd take a class in the evening. And one night she came over and she brought this spirit board over, and we said, okay, well, let's try this. We'd never tried anything like that before. And we had this planchette. She just brought this little piece of, wood to use, and we got messages right away. And they weren't long, but they were spot on. Like it said NYC SOON, NYC soon. Well, I was going to New York City soon. I mean, it said some things that just were incredible. So I was so excited, and then an angel came on. It spelled out, I said, who is this? And it spelled ANGEL. And I said,
Very
angel?
nice.
You're an angel? And she says, yes. And she said, guardian angel. And so I got to know my guardian angel, Mirth, and I wanted to talk to her so bad. I had so many questions. And every time I had to call Julie and have her come over. Well, that wasn't very practical because she's busy. So, she'd come over once a week maybe. And then I thought I want to ask questions that I want to ask. So I got some other boards. I have about 5 of them now, but I had to stop because it was getting a little, I know you've got a lot more than that. But I started sitting there alone, and I watched videos on YouTube and I read about it. And I would sit there and it wouldn't work. And my back would start hurting. And I asked Mirth when I was on with Julie, I said, why is this not working? And she said, energy. Mm-hmm. So along the way, I was getting attunements to Reiki, to different kind of energetic attunements. I got the reconnection and just a few of them. And along that path, I guess my energy, plus I was meditating, I was eating real vegan, real clean. I was doing a lot of spiritual work and healings because I got started doing crystal healings and Reiki healings. So I opened up, and finally one night I was sitting there, because every night I'd try it for about 10 minutes. I wouldn't give it more because I started, my back was hurting, I was getting impatient, and one night it started moving. It started moving, and it was my angel Mirth, and she said, yeah, you can do it now, your energy is open, and I can do it myself. And now I can get on a board. It would start immediately. I can write letters on a piece of paper. I can use my finger. I can use anything, and I can get that connection because I've got the open channel now. And it was so exciting. And I've never had a bad experience. I've had a couple maybe tricksters saying a couple stupid things, and that was it. I'm like, get out of here, kick them out. And that was it. But I always expect, I do a protection prayer. I ask for only the highest beings to come through, surround myself with the white light of Christ, and I expect great things to come through, and it usually does. And
how long did it take you, Marla, to get it to work when you're doing it by yourself? That's a question I get all the time. Is it like a certain amount of time, or does it depend?
It took about 6 to 8 months for me. So it was a long time, and I thought, is this ever going to happen? Because I knew people were. I saw on YouTube some people, like our friend Ryan. Hey, Ryan.
Ryan's an expert. Hi, Ryan.
Ryan does it, and I saw people doing it, and I like, well, why? I was getting so frustrated. Why doesn't it work for me? How come they can do it? And Ryan's smoking a cigarette, and it's like,
one hand here, right
he's
over
so
here.
Cute. Yeah, he's awesome. It's just so awesome. So but it would do it, and then it started doing it, and so I'm like, okay, well, I don't know if those other people, why it worked for them, if they were attuned or if they are psychic or what. I don't know. Everybody's situation's different, but for me, I had to be opening up my channels and getting a clear channel and getting those attunements, energetic attunements, for it to work for me. But I was thrilled.
Would you advise people to use it alone then? Would you recommend that?
Yeah, sure, give it a try. But I know if somebody says, oh, I'm going to buy a board and just try it, it's probably not going to work, because you've got to start doing a lot of work on yourself. But go ahead. I wasn't scared at all. And just make sure that you do cleanse your board occasionally. I put little saints around. I say the prayers. I call in Archangel Michael to stand as protection. I call in Jesus. I call in the white light. I do that protection, because this space that I have now, it's really a portal. I've had some psychics like FaceTiming or Skyping with me, and they'll see something fly across. I've had orbs fly across the screen in interviews, and I can feel the energy. So I think I've been doing so much psychic work in this space for the last 2.5 years that it's kind of like a portal now. So I don't want anybody coming through. I did have, we could talk about this another time, but I did get some low energy attachments recently. And, I don't know if it was from the board. It was, I also attend a lot of workshops where there's a lot of people, a lot of, I jumped on some random boards. I've done healings on people, and somehow some attachments came, but I got rid of them. But it wasn't a demon, it wasn't like, it's not a portal opening from hell. It's just there's all sorts of energy out there, high and low. So we've got to always cleanse.
Well, I do want to say a comment about that, about your energy, if I may. Just jump in real quickly here. When I want everybody to understand this, when you start doing a lot of opening and working with your energy centers, and you start working your chakras, and you start working with becoming a clear channel, you're clearing up the foods you eat, the substance you imbibe, physically, you're changing your emotional habits, your mental habits, your spiritual, everything starts opening up. And what happens is you become very sensitive to the energies. It's not that the energies weren't there. It's that now you're like a magnet, and you're attracting, and you're also able now to see them. They've always been there. And so the Ouija board works very much the same. It's not that the Ouija board brings the spirits to you. It becomes your permission slip to connect with the other realms.
Bashar told us that too. It's your permission slip. Yeah.
That's right, it's permission slip. And so it's not the board is imbued with some type of magic thing or even a portal. It's that Marla herself has opened herself to become an opening for these energies. It's not from the board, it's from all the spiritual work she did with herself. The board is just one way she's able to communicate with these energies. I too have been doing a lot of spiritual work, since I was really young, because I've always seen spirits and energies and auras. And so I've just, over the years, years of really work with these energies to understand what my relationship is to them. And so I found that the more work I did on myself, and outside the board, you guys, has nothing to do with the board, but my own spiritual practice of working with the energies and being able to sense them has really helped me become more intuitive and empathic and being able to see into the other realms and experience them. And so Marla is really, I mean, her book that's coming out, you guys, is all about this. You're going to want to read this because it really is about her exploration and deep dive into these spiritual realms and opening up her centers. And this is what's happening. It's what people are experiencing around her. I mean, this is what I see with her as well, that there's such a blossoming of energy because of this work she's done. And so I think that's what she's really experiencing.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Yeah, the Buddha made me do it. A Field Guide to Enlightenment. It's coming out in a few weeks, and Karen's in it too. The whole it's really a field guide of and you could do what I did, and I tell I go through a lot of different modalities, and then say what it did for me. So it's going to be really fun. But yeah, I've had a great. This is I can't the board has brought such has enriched my life in so many ways. That I can't even say. I mean, it's just brought me, and it brought me Karen and Linda Deer and all these amazing people.
Hi, Lindas, both Lindas.
Lindas. I've met the most amazing people and people who are into it. We just have so much fun with it. We get our Ouija mugs. We've got our Ouija, there's t-shirts and shoes and coffee tables and
I've got pants, I got earrings, I got necklaces.
Oh, we got our necklace.
It has a really wonderful community that comes along with people that are opening themselves up in terms of learning about these energies. And I find that really fascinating and just beautiful in a way. It's just beautiful to engage with people on this level. And so the board too, for me, has been just conscious expanding. If that's the word, the two words I can use, consciousness expansion. I'll use that, consciousness expansion for me in such profound ways that has made my life that much more richer. And I find myself being able to have these conversations with my higher self, with my spirit guides, with the ethereal beings who help me with making better decisions in my life to be a better person for myself in the world. It's a beautiful thing. And so I did want to say another thing about if you're having a hard time with the board and the planchette and getting it to work for you, and that doing it alone may not work for everybody, because so I know people that try it all the time, it doesn't work. Work with a partner if that doesn't work for you, and you have partners to work with. A lot of people write to me and say, I have nobody in my area to use the board with. Well, you could start a meetup group, but if not, you can learn to do it on your own, as Marla said. But if you have a partner, what I like about partnership is that you have somebody who's kind of like your witness to this process. They get to hold your hand and be there with you when you get the messages. And the messages are can be all over the board, pun intended, in the beginning. And so you kind of need to sift through those because accuracy of the messages aren't always what you think they may be. So you have somebody to kind of explore this world with you and sift through them and sit there as an objective person. And when you're getting messages, you could be objective for them when they're getting messages. And building the energy of two people together, it just becomes that much easier for this energy to connect and work this planchette. So that's why I'm pro couple working together with another person, but I'm also pro using it yourself, especially if you have the abilities to do so.
All right, you guys, comment below and let us know your experiences, and we'd love to hear about it. All right, take care.
Bye.